Hello everybody, welcome to session 5 of chapter Human Health and Diseases. So in last class we did discuss something about AIDS, the transmission, what was the full form of AIDS, how it gets transmitted. We have come across the virus named HIV, how the replication of this retrovirus takes place and how they affect the immune system and leads to the formation of not a single disease but syndrome. So today we will be discussing about the preventive measures as well as the test. I have given you the hint about what is the test that is done for AIDS. So it was ELISA, that is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is the test which is done for AIDS, which is used in identifying whether the individual is having AIDS or not. Now we have to know about the prevention methods or curing methods. Now there is no cure for AIDS. Why? Because so far there have no medicines have been identified which can cure AIDS. But they have put forward, or the medical science have put forward, a drug, that is antiretroviral drug. This doesn't cure AIDS, instead it prevents or prolongs the death. It doesn't cure AIDS or it doesn't eradicate AIDS from the body. Instead, if an individual is going to die within 7 years, his life can be prolonged up to 10 or 12 years. So that is the drug which is used as a prevention given for the patient who is having AIDS. Apart from this one, we have to come across or know what are the preventive measures which can be taken so that an individual is safe from AIDS. So the next one is prevention. So we already know that prevention is better than cure. Main reason why AIDS is spreading completely in human race, that is because of ignorance. Ignorance is the main reason why AIDS is spreading. Prevention methods, especially there is a committee, that is NACO, that is National AIDS Control Organization. So National AIDS Control Organization, apart from this one, NGOs, that is non-governmental organization, these both hand in hands have put forward certain ways of educating people regarding AIDS. So National AIDS Control Organization, that is NACO, as well as non-governmental organization have put forward certain different methods of prevention so that you can educate people about AIDS. Apart from this one, WHO, that is the World Health Organization, they have put some preventive measures. The preventive measures will be educating people regarding this AIDS, educating people. Second one is prevention methods regarding blood transfusion. So according to WHO, in the medical science, initially they were using the same needles or syringes from one person and just making it sterile and then using it, repeating the syringes or needles. But after, according to WHO, they have put forward certain rules and regulations based on which one, either it is a private clinic or a governmental hospital, none of them will be using the common syringes or needles. Once used will be disposed completely. Even the blood banks, safe blood banks. So a person, if he wants to donate the blood, then his blood will be initially checked up for whether he is having AIDS or not. Even the recipient as well as the donor, both will be checked for this one, and then only the blood banks are now made safe. Apart from this one, free distribution of condoms. free distribution of condoms, so that number of it goes hand in hands to either increase the number of population, or that means to have a control on the population, as well as if at all there is an infected person having intercourse with the partner, then the chances of AIDS getting transmitted will be at very high risk. If condoms are used, then the chance of spreading will be less, as AIDS spread through body fluids. There will be certain education level at high school level or else school level, where school students will be given proper guidance regarding, or sex education will be given to the students. So that is certain preventive measures which are given by WHO, which is now followed, because of which one there whatever misconception regarding AIDS will be there, that will be removed. So that is a quick note or short note on prevention of AIDS as well as its treatment. As I have already told you, there is no proper treatment, only prevention is the best method. They have given, or the medical science have put forward a drug, they will reduce the replication of retrovirus within the body, that is antiretroviral drug, but it does not cure, but your immunity will be slightly improved and your death will be prolonged. So that is about a quick note on AIDS. Next one is cancer. Now AIDS is one of the dangerous infectious disease what we have studied. Next one is a non-infectious disease, that is cancer. Now in cancer, what happens is, normally our body cells undergo division, that is their origin, their maturation, their differentiation takes place, and these are regulatory. But in case of cancer, what happens? Uncontrollable cell division takes place. Now for example, if you see, this is a particular single cell. Now here is one more cell and there is a space here. To fill up this space, what will happen? The cell will start to divide itself. Once the cell will start to divide here, once it comes in touch with the cell lying nearby, that is the division stops. That is what is called contact inhibition. This happens in normal cells. What happens during contact inhibition? When the cell divides itself, they produce large number of multiple similar types of cells, and once the cell comes in contact or touch with the nearby cells, the cell division comes to an end or they stop. That is what is called contact inhibition. So this takes place in normal cells. When it comes to cancerous cell, this contact inhibition will be nullified. Even though the cell comes in contact with other cells, the cell division will not be regulated. Instead, they will continuously overlap the cells and undergo division. This leads to formation of an extra growth in the body, which is called tumor. So this tumor is a extra growth which contains mass of living cells. This is due to contact inhibition failure. So cancer cells means it is uncontrollable cell division which has been taken place because of failure of contact inhibition due to continuous division of the cells, which leads to formation of a big bulb-like structure termed tumor. Next one is, we have to learn about types of cancer. So next is types of cancer. So types of cancer, there are two different types. One is benign cancer, another is malignant. So benign cancer, these are actually quite what you can say very soft cancer. The meaning of soft here is it is less dangerous. So benign cancer means here they are restricted to one place. That means if the cancerous cells are present in the liver, only the tumors are restricted to liver. That means it can be easily removed from the body surgically. You need not think about much because it doesn't spread within the body. So benign tumors are less dangerous. They divide the cells themselves even though uncontrollable division takes place, but they are restricted to only one part of the body or one organ. It can be easily surgically removed. That is about benign cancer. When it comes to malignant cancer, this is one of the dangerous forms or types of cancer. Why? Because the mass of cells continuously divide, which is called neoplastic or tumor forming cells. So, mass of cells which continuously divide, termed as neoplastic cells or tumor cells. What they do while they increase their number is, the cancerous cells start to starve the normal cells. If this is the cancerous cell and here is a normal cell, the nutrition which is supplied, that will be absorbed by the cancerous cell, and this normal cell will be left to starve and die. So, automatically the cancerous cell will be getting the required nutrients what is present in the body, but the normal cell, healthy cell from which the metabolic rate is increased, that will come to a end because of the not proper supply of the nutrition. When the cancerous cells will start to increase, they form a larger bulb-like structure termed tumor. Slowly, some of the few cells will be transferred into the blood. So, once few of the cell will be dodged from the main tumor, they will be transferred into the blood. From the blood, they get transferred into different parts of the body, either from the lung, they might get transferred into your stomach. From stomach, they might get transferred into the intestine or kidney. That means through blood. Wherever the blood flows, the cancerous cells will be moving along. So, whenever they stay, that means from the particular part of the body through the blood, the cancerous cell have moved and they reach some other organ. So, if they will get placed in this organ and they will start to divide there and form a tumor. That means, in short, malignant tumor spreads from one part of the body to other part of the body. Because of this property of its, it is termed metastasis. So, what is metastasis? Metastasis means, in case of malignant tumors or malignant cancer, the neoplastic cells divide themselves to form tumor. Few of the cells get separated from the major or initial tumor and gets passed into the blood. Once they are transferred into the blood, from the blood they reach the organ or target organ or different organs. Once they reach the particular organ, they will place themselves there, they will just start to divide in that organ, target organ. So, again there are tumors formed in two different places now. The same process repeats and all over the body also there might be development of cancer. So, this property of malignant tumor is termed metastasis. So, that is about the two different types of cancers, benign as well as malignant. So, next one, what are the reasons or what are the causes of cancer? So, here it will be causes of cancer. So, causes of cancer may be because of three different reasons, that will be physical, chemical and biological. Physical, chemical and biological cancer causing substances which are termed carcinogens. Carcinogens means cancer causing substances or the substances which causes cancer are termed carcinogens. So, they may be either physical, chemical or biological. Now, coming to physical type of carcinogens, so it belongs to, like there are two different categories. One is radiations, that will be ionizing and non-ionizing. Ionizing and non-ionizing physical radiations are present, where it includes ionizing radiations include X-ray and gamma rays, whereas non-ionizing it includes UV rays. So, this UV rays directly damage the nucleic acid, that is the DNA, will be damaged by this UV rays. Once the DNA gets damaged by this UV rays, what exactly happens is the normal cells which are affected, that is the DNA, once it is affected by UV rays, the DNA gets damaged, automatically the normal cells which are present, suddenly they will alter themselves, they get changed themselves and become oncogenic. Oncogenic means cancer causing. So this term is termed oncogenic transformation. So here, due to the radiations, that is ionizing and non-ionizing radiations, ionizing radiations include X-rays as well as gamma rays, whereas non-ionizing include UV rays, which affects the DNA. It directly affects the DNA, it leads to DNA damage. Automatically, when a DNA is affected or damaged, the normal behaving cells alter themselves and undergo oncogenic transformation, and these normal cells become cancerous cells. So that's about the physical carcinogens. Next is about chemical carcinogens. It is a common cancer which can be found, that is lung cancer, and that is mainly due to tobacco smoke. So nicotine is the chemical which is present in this tobacco. Because of continuous smoking, the nicotine gets deposited in the lung, especially in the alveoli. So it damages the exchange of gases and leads to lung cancer, and that is one of the example for chemical carcinogens. Next one is biological carcinogens. So for this one, we can take an example, that will be virus. So there are certain forms of virus which acts as carcinogens. So these are called viral oncogens. So these contain oncogens, that is cancer causing, that is virus which causes cancer, and they have genes in them which are the ones which causes cancer. That is why they are termed viral oncogenes. So these come under, or this becomes an example for biological forms of carcinogens, where the virus acts itself as a carcinogen because of presence of oncogene, that is viral oncogene within them. Apart from this virus, even our normal body cells also have certain genes which produce the cancer, like for example cellular oncogenes. Which can be represented as C-onco, or it is also termed proto-onco. These are also termed proto-oncogenes. Now when it comes to cellular oncogenes or C-oncos or proto-oncogenes, these are present within the normal cell, but they will be under inactive condition. When under certain conditions or certain body environment is made, these get activated and the normal cells suddenly start to behave like cancerous cells. Normally they are present in our body, but they will remain in our body in inactive form. They get activated only under certain body conditions. These belong to biological carcinogens. So these are the reasons for causes of cancer, that will be physical through radiations, ionizing or non-ionizing, and when it comes to chemicals, that include the only major thing, that will be lung cancer, that is nicotine chemical which is come through tobacco smoke. Biological, it includes viral oncogenes as well as cellular oncogene and proto-oncogene. These are the causes for cancer. Next, once we have known what are the reasons for cancer, we have to know how we can detect it and diagnose it. The very easy way to detect the cancer, that will be through biopsy and histopathological study. histopathological. Histo means study of tissues, histology. So biopsy is the better option, along with which you have to undergo the histopathological study. Now what is a biopsy? So if at all the individual feels that he is having a extra growth in his particular organ and which can be seen through the body surface. Sometimes it is only internal growth, the tumors will be internally found which cannot be observed morphologically. So the doctors, if they ask the person to undergo this biopsy, what they will do is, from a particular organ they will be taking small part. If this is the complete organ, from this a small part will be taken. This part of the organ will be made into thin slices. Thin slices of the organ what you have taken will be made. Out of this thin slices, this small single slice will be stained and then examined through histopathological study by a pathologist. So to detect whether the individual is having normal cells or have it turned into cancerous cells. This is the method of detection of cancer, that will be through biopsy or histopathological studies. In biopsy, the organ which we have a doubt regarding if it is having cancer or not, that particular organ will be chosen. A part of that organ will be taken and it is made into thinner slices. These thinner slices will be stained and sent for examination. What type of examination? That will be histopathological examination. Once the histopathological examination is done by the pathologist, he can confirm whether the cells or whether the part of the organ have cancer or it is a normal regulatory controlled cell division. That is done in biopsy or histopathological study. In leukemia is blood cancer. So in leukemia also the same, that is the biopsy as well as histopathological study will be done. Here the histopathological study will be done for tissues, for blood, as well as if you see the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the region where the blood cells will be produced. In case of leukemia it will be the WBC cells, to check whether they are growing uncontrollably. So what we do is we undergo the biopsy as well as the histopathological study. So next type or next variant, that will be radiography. So radiography, this is done using the X-rays. And next one, CT scan, that is computed tomography. Next is the MRI. Magnetic resonance ionizing. So that is about 3 different forms of detection method to identify whether the individual is having cancer or not. In 3 of this also, using different forms or different rays, what we do is we identify the presence of tumors in the internal organs. If there are any tumors identified in the internal organs, that will be identified in case of radiography, CT scan as well as MRI. Using this radiography as well as CT scan, that is computed tomography, what we obtain is, using this X-ray, we obtain the 3-dimensional structure of the internal organ so that we can find the extra growth present in which part of the organ. That is why the radiography and computed tomography are used together to get a 3D structure, to get the structure and where extra growth or tumor is present in that target organ. Next, in case of magnetic resonance ionization or ionizing, what we do, or MRI scan, what we do is we apply the particular part of the body or organ with strong magnetic field. A very strong magnetic field will be subjected to the target organ, along with non-ionizing radiations. So non-ionizing radiations and a strong magnetic field will be obtained or will be applied on the target organ, so that you can again obtain the structure of the internal organ and to identify where exactly the tumors are present. These are the different ways with which we can identify or detect the presence of cancer in our body. First one, if it is for leukemia or for any other forms, that will be biopsy or histopathological study. Next one is radiography, then comes the computed tomography, then finally comes the MRI scanning, that is the magnetic resonance ionization. So next one is treatment for cancer. So before we go to treatment for cancer, we should also know that there are certain antibodies which are also used, which acts on cancer specific antigen. Antibodies which can be applied on cancer specific antigens, which can be used in diagnosing the cancer. We can identify the cancer, its particular structure, what is the rate of cell division, whether it is regulatory, non-regulatory, benign, malignant, identifying the structure, formation of tumor we have to identify, and then we will be able to diagnose it. There are different molecular like basis level techniques which are used nowadays to treat this cancer. So now we will come across certain famous forms of cancer treatment. So different forms of cancer treatment here. First type of cancer treatment, that will be radiations. So using radiation, this is possible or restricted only for benign tumors. So in case of benign tumors, what happens is, if the particular tumor is present here, the body will not be operated. Instead, radiations will be subjected to that particular part of the body, that is a particular organ, and here the radiations, that is when you subject the radiations into the tumor of a particular organ, the radiations are applied in such a way that it does not damage any of the normal cells, but affects only the cancerous cells, and it destroys the tumor over there. It gets burnt or it gets destroyed there, and the cancer can be removed from the body. As I have already told, this is restricted only for benign tumor. Malignant tumor, if the radiations or if the body is subjected to continuous radiations, then it leads to mutation, and that will further lead to cancer, as malignant tumor is very difficult to identify in which particular organ or part of the body it is present. So first one is through radiations. Next, there are different therapies, that will be immunotherapy, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, these are the different methods, but through these therapies there are also side effects, like there will be anemia, there is reduction in the RBCs. Automatically if the individual is anemic, then it leads to dizziness, the energy in the body will be reduced, plus it also leads to hair loss, even appetite, loss of appetite also will be there due to certain chemicals which have side effects on our body. Especially in chemotherapy, normally our body is subjected with strong doses of medicines or drugs, because of which all these side effects can be seen through this therapies, that is immunotherapies, radiotherapies as well as chemotherapies. Apart from this one, there are easy methods through which we can reduce the cancer, that will be biological response modifiers. This biological response modifiers especially will be alpha interferons, So we have discussed about interferons, what is their function. They are released when a virus affects a normal cell and the cell releases the chemical called interferons, so to make sure that the other normal cells will be ready with the antibodies. When it comes to this biological response modifiers, these are alpha interferons which are released in the body so that they can identify the cancerous cells and destroy them. Automatically our immune system will be encouraged so that they release antibodies to destroy this particular antigen, that is cancer causing antigens. That is why biological response modifiers are used. They have very less side effects compared to chemotherapy, immunotherapy as well as radiotherapy. So that's all about cancerous cells, their causing or causative agents or carcinogens which causes cancer, plus their detection as well as their diagnosis. This is how cancer as well as its types as well as its treatment can be identified. To summarize this one, so we have today's class we have learned different methods of prevention of AIDS, different NGOs, NACOs, WHOs coming together to educate people regarding prevention about AIDS, plus we have learnt about cancer, its types, different methods or different ways through which the cancer spreads in our body or causative agents because of which, that is chemical, physical as well as biological, through which cancer can be spread. We have learned different forms of detection, that is through biopsy, different forms how we can cut the particular organ, slice it into smaller pieces, add stains and undergo histopathological studies. Regarding that we have studied, plus we have undergone or we have studied about diagnosis method through therapies as well as bio response modifiers. So that's it for today's class. Thank you everyone.